Hey, this is Derek Demore with Futures Demore and Futures Networks Live. We're here to make positive points this morning, and we were in this interesting spot where the all-time high was right where this line was at 38.25, and we were sitting here thinking, today it looks like it's going to bust above. I said yesterday it looks like we're close, and it did. So the call was long. We thought about it and decided to go long, even though it's been going against us forever the last couple of weeks. But today just had that feel with contract rollover, with the really good news, the rejection at 835. So we just decided, so today I decided, because of the volatility and the run up in the last hour, that I needed more room. So I did some market DCAs just in case it pulled down, which ended up turning out really well. And you'll see how we did. So we got in at market on the S&P, and that went and basically filled us, almost in less than 10 minutes. The good thing on the NASDAQ, because it did pull down a total of, 31 to 11, 20 points. So I'm glad I got in. I gave it a little extra room back to this wick on the entry, and we got in. And so we got into 4 contracts, and then it just launched. So our average entry is 821, and we got out on the first candlestick at 68. So I just played it till the end and got out. So that was a really good run. And then on the Russell, we did the same thing, and it went against us. And it's a good thing I had the X went further than I thought. You can see but it went right to the trend line, or I think that established it later. But in any case, we got into both. What it did is it went up. My average entry would have been, right 2329 and a half. Went in, did the same thing. I just got out right at this line. There was a line at 2337, and we weren't closing above it. So I got out on the first candlestick. So we were basically out in 10 minutes on all of the market orders, and I'll give you your totals later. Now the limit orders, so I had, obviously I'm going long on the market. I had to go short, and we were up against all-time highs that I was feeling pretty comfortable about the S&P, as long as it didn't bust above our old all-time high of 42.38.25. So I thought, okay, if I'm going to get in this going short, I want to get in at the 36 level, and then I'm going to give myself a lot of extra room, because it looked like the wave 5 could potentially end at 42.50. In talking to Randy and a couple other people. So had my stop above 42.50, I think at 42.52. So I put the DCA at 42.45, which is basically about a 9-point DCA, which, with the extra volatility, I wanted to make sure that I was covered on that. Same with the NASDAQ. I had it way up here at the top. I thought, okay, if it busts a little bit higher and then turns around, I'd be fine with that. But that was looking very bullish. And then the same on the Russell. I had it at 36 and a half, basically, and then way up at 41, just to clear some in case it all went and launched. And this is kind of how it went. If you see the NASDAQ, we got into both, and then I'm thinking, okay, 62, and we ended the first one at 71. So I'm like, oh, if it goes on the next candle, I'm out. We got into our first limit order on the S&P on the first candle, and we never got in on the Russell. So we kind of just left it. And then on the next candle, it came all the way back and got me in. And it got me in at 42.45 on my DCA on the S&P, and obviously stopped me out on 4 contracts, losing 18. No, I think I lost more, 49. Oh, no, I did set 12 point. So I lost 18 points on 4 contracts on that one. And then, so you'll see what happens on these 2. So that one's a loser. It starts to turn. We hit the all-time high, but I don't get stopped out. And then it was looking a little dubious. thankfully, I just got in on my limit order. I never got into the DCA, and then this went down, and we took 36 and decided to get out right at the bottom of this candle. So we actually got 12 points on the Russell, and then we started to move down, and I took some at the old all-time high. So we took our average was 42. Let's see, between the two, let's pull it down a little bit. Whoa, sorry about that. All right, so our average is right around 41. And what I wanted to do is get out of 2 right here at, it was already 1025, is getting long in the tooth. And so I took 2 at basically 2 points, and then let the other 2 run just to see what was going to happen. And then it finally launched, and coming up on 1045 and hitting this doji and all this, I got out at 42.32 on the other 2. So that was like a 8.5 points on 2 contracts and 2 points on the other 2. So that's how I'll show you in the end how we finished. Now, obviously, end of day, I'm pretty proud of. We hit all 3 predictions. So you can see we nailed 42.17 as our final. And now a lot of them are still in the mid 60s and even 70, I think, in the NASDAQ on the RSI. So it looks like we're finishing some wave 5s in the S&P and potentially in the Russell. And it looks like we're in a 2 to 3 wave in the NASDAQ. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye out. We bounced off of the 10 period, the pivot point, and 42.07 again. This just, with that announcement. So that was kind of good. We hit an all-time high. So now we're up at 42.48.75. So my end of day predictions on this with 42.17, that last close is the bottom support. At 42.11, if we go back down to the 10 period and in there, or we launch back and we kick above. So I'm going both extremes. We get up to 42.60 today. So we'll see. The NASDAQ, we'll look at that right now, and let me move these. Okay, so there's the final there, and I will minimize, and then I'll pull up the M2K, and same here. You can see that we hit it barely. 13.8 is, this is the M2K. We hit the M2K, but looks to be rolling over after wave 5 that we were in, double top, wave 5. 2309 is now the bottom support. And we just kind of broke down just recently on this. So we went lower than that, but we need to close and reverse. So anything above 2328 or a green candle, ironically, that's halfway on the candle. So anything that's green today will be bullish. So I'm putting 2300 if it ends there, or 2332 as my end of days. So here we go. This is where I put the ends, and I will do the MNQ real quick. And hit that one also. You can see 13.8 still bottom support, but we did come down to 728. Touch the 10-day. Realistically, we pierced 19, but we got to close above 917 to be bullish still. We're in a 2 to 3 wave, but I would say end of day 13,850 or 13,978 going big again. So we'll see. Okay, this is the final, and now I'll show end of day totals. All right, and the final is really good day. Market orders, because I got into 4 contracts on 2. We have basically 66 points total. So we got 1246 and 8, 66, 648 currency units. That should be 6,480. I'll change that. On the limit orders, not quite as good, but remember, we were going against a strong trend. And I did negative half a point in points, but positive currency units. So again, you can do and make money currency units both directions. It's just harder sometimes when you have such a strong trend. Thanks for being a part of Futures to More, Futures Networks Live. Positive points for breakfast, and we'll see you tomorrow.